our studios at Cardiac Radio, inviting you to join us in this beautiful opportunity to pray. Pray for the USA. And many people ask, why do we pray for the USA? Because First Cardiac Radio's headquarters are mainly in the USA, but also because we have the opportunity to pray for the beautiful environment that sustain the coordination of so many beautiful efforts on earth. So you're welcome to join us. Join us here at Cardiac Radio so we pray together in this beautiful works. And I'm sharing here with the groups. Many people ask beforehand, and I won't forget, especially Spiritism and the spirit world around us, to be with us as well. So join us, friends. And I'm not alone. We have here beautiful friend Greg Palma, right from Iowa. Thank you, Greg, for being with us. How are you? Sorry. Can you repeat somewhat? It was
I
muted.
said I'm glad to be with you and the Cardiac Radio mentors.
Thank you so much. It's so beautiful what you're saying and your acknowledgement. And, we acknowledge your spiritual works and your interest in spiritism as well. And Greg, you're an opera singer professional and you have decided to make your music a healing opportunity, right?
Yes.
You want to share a little more about that to the listeners and viewers, please?
Yes. My music comes straight from my heart. I mean, I've been technically trained to sing properly and to make a good quality sound. As my voice teacher at the University of Iowa would say, you have to make a very beautiful noise thing. Um, so I have that in the background, but really it's coming from my heart. And the goal of my singing, whether it is the singing of the sacred songs, which I enjoy singing, or the what I call the singing passes, the celestial singing passes. Both of them, the goal is to open the hearts to love, to open the heart chakra, to heal. And it is healing music because music is the most powerful of the healing modalities, I believe. And and this is a gift I believe that God gave to me. And this is my mission is to share what I have to open the hearts of people. And I found Spiritism when I was in Brazil in 2013.
Mhm.
And from there, my heart started opening up when I visited a spiritual healing center there. And since then, because I made that connection, it was clearer what my mission was. And each time I moved in that direction, it became stronger and stronger.
Wow.
So that's, I think, enough for me.
Yeah, and I remember when you came to the Chantilly, Virginia Spiritist Center in our 12th anniversary, and then you came back for
Yes.
another opportunity. And so beautiful because Leon Denis, in the book Spiritism in the Arts, which we have a program every Tuesday with Fred Gouveia and Josana Vaz, they they go through this book by Leon Denis that brings to us the awareness that the arts are for sublime reasons. And I was talking to friends the other day saying, for the longest time on earth, we've used the arts just to the pleasures of the senses in a very dense and materialized way or
Hmm.
materialistic way.
Hmm.
And finally, we are awakening to allow the arts to help us spiritualize ourselves,
Hmm. Hmm.
right?
Exactly. The arts, I mean, there are In the Vedic tradition, which I spent a lot of time studying
Hmm.
and experiencing in meditation, there are many ways what they call to transcend, to go into your heart, to go deep into the source of your creativity, go into the source of your being with a capital B. You can do it through you can do it through visualization. You can do it through what they call yantras, which are pictorials
Hmm.
of transcending. You can do it through sound, and any sound can take you in there. And you can do it through any of the senses. You can transcend through it, um, through visual and through sound are very powerful modalities to transcend. The the
Hmm.
the very easy thing about the sound transcending is that you can actually close your eyes, and that journey becomes even more profound because you're cut off from the material world, and you're just experiencing the sound level, or what they call the mantra level of the sound. A mantra is a particular sound that's used in meditation that has no meaning. So when you are pronouncing the mantra in your silence, in your mind, you're not caught up on the meaning of the word, going from and contemplating different aspects of it. So the sound quality of the 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 music that I sing that doesn't have words, the one that you heard me sing, that the singing passes while you were giving the passes, those have a particularly powerful aspect because they don't have the meaning, and you're not thinking, oh, what a beautiful quality of, you're thinking of Jesus, and we're singing like a hymn, and Jesus is mentioned, and you contemplate Jesus, and then you remember about your mother and how she taught you and things like that. But with just the sound quality, then you're able to go much more deeply without
Hmm.
getting caught up on the intellectual and the contemplative level.
Yeah, that's so beautiful, and we can feel the soothing vibrations as you speak because you
Yeah.
cultivate that, right? And
Yeah.
talking about that, Greg, we're here in a live program. People, friends are joining us, and we're going to boost our inspiration for the prayer based on this message 119 of the book Our Daily Bread by Emmanuel Toshiko Xavier, that is titled Always Be of Assistance. It's exactly for the purpose of the question many people ask, why do we need to pray for the USA? Well, let's always be of assistance. That's the answer. Why not?
Yes,
Right?
exactly.
So, would you like to help us reading it?
Yes, I'll be glad to read it.
Thank you.
Okay. Always be of assistance. But Paul answered, why are you weeping and breaking my heart? Acts 21:13. One of the most dramatic passages of the Acts of the Apostles describes Paul of Tarsus' preparation to face the testimony that awaited him in Jerusalem. There is not a shadow of hesitation in the heroic soul of this fighter. As usual, his spirit is ready, but his companions are weeping and lamenting, eliciting a painful question that flows from the sensitive and valiant heart of this warrior of the gospel. In spite of his indomitable serene energy, Paul felt the lack of his friends as courageous as himself. His travel companions were sincerely ready for death. However, they did not know how to express the sentiments of a faithful soul. Weeping and lamenting never helps in moments of difficult testimony. Whoever weeps besides a friend in a precarious position undermines his or her endurance. Jesus wept in the Garden of Gethsemane when he was alone, but in Jerusalem, under the weight of the cross, he tells the kind woman who were supporting him to stop their anguished tears. On the morning of the resurrection, he asked Magdalene to explain the reasons for her tears at the tomb. This lesson is of great significance for all disciples. If a loved one has endured a necessary affliction for a long time, do not fall into useless desperation. Complaining solves nothing. Instead of embittering him or her with your tears, reach out.
Thank you so much. You know, Greg, in this life, I was born in Brazil. And it's interesting because I recall the time I was born in 72, a time in which my father working as a in the IBM company, which is an American company. It's interesting. He used to travel here often, and people used to love the United States and Brazil and admire the United States, really feeling like the whole world. But one day, the United States falls short in people's opinion. We don't need to outline why, but people know it. It's out there, and people are like pointing fingers, and like some are disappointed, others are exactly doing this. They're sad and they are even desperate, like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Even with the current situation, in so many ways, people are like, oh my gosh. And here's a lesson: desperation or accusations or complaining is not going to help. We need to reach out because we have received so much from the US. Even if we were born in other countries, historically, the United States has given so much for so many centuries since the Declaration. Well, I would say way before. If you read the book Renunciation by Emmanuel, we see the waves of migration from Europe to the United States, showing to us that it became a shelter for the renewal of the planet, the dreams of a new civilization, new society, renewed, free from prejudices, from persecutions. And now, after all these gifts, we can't be disappointed or complain or feel desperate. I think Emmanuel is calling us. Come on, let's reach out. What do you feel, Greg?
I see it too when I look at Facebook, or if I spend a moment looking at the news. It's easy to be drawn into that complaining, and it's easy to take a side and say, yes, this person's right and this person's wrong, and what's happened to our country. I do believe it is an opportunity, and God seems to be very patient with what's going on. I was contemplating this today. He seems to be very patient with everyone, particularly the ones that are the point of the complaints, that he's giving them many opportunities to rethink their lives and rethink their positions. And it it is a wonderful thing to be on the earth at this time because it's such a transformational time. And it's been noted not only by Spiritism, but it has been noted by many masters from the East who have also said that this time is a time of change and a time of transformation to a golden age, an age where life will be transformed. Um, and it is inevitable. It is definitely inevitable. And I think we do need to have these weekly messages of hope because it's easy to forget the inspiration that we had just a few days ago, and to
Mhm.
try to remember it when we're caught in in the frustration of saying, "What now what's happening? Now look what's happening. It's gotten worse, and it
Mhm.
seems to be getting worse." Where in reality, it's just more opportunities to turn it around, and the kindness that's coming from our Creator for this planet. I think he believe that it is truly a place that will be a glorious center for the world because it already inhabits most of the population of the earth has connections with the United States in a very strong way. And it really is, like you say, the brain
Mhm.
of the planet. So I see it as a we just need to keep giving people the inspiration from these wonderful messages. Manual coming from Chico Xavier, wonderful Chico,
Yeah.
is so inspiring. I mean, that these luminaries have crossed our path. It is so uplifting to me to read them coming from more of the Eastern tradition and to be really blown away by the synchronicities between the two cultures of, one calling it the age of enlightenment, the other calling it a transformation to, the next level up, the regenerative world. I
Mhm.
mean, it is very hopeful when you see different traditions coming at it from different ways. It gives you it 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 fills you with more confidence that here's another yet another science which is saying the same thing, like in a when they do tests on a certain new drug or something, and someone else independently corroborates what you are saying, and it didn't come from them saying, "Don't you think it does this?" And they followed their own line of investigation, and they independently came up with the same thing, and that's what we're seeing here. So I find it very hopeful
Yeah.
and very inspired. And I think what you're doing here, Vanessa, and the whole Cardiac Radio team and the mentors is really very important, extremely important for the United States. I congratulate you in the huge, huge sacrifice that you personally take. I mean, you could turn on cardiac radio anytime and you're always on. And there's always tons of stuff to get inspired by. It's really wonderful. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And we hope you can join us. We need to talk to have you join us as well in this teamwork effort. We have so many people helping us on the behind the scenes and in both realms. The team is big, and but we always need more. As you're saying beautifully, like the patient, God's patience. So, what is on our end to share the inspiration, right? Just to
Yes.
share, right? So that's why praying for the USA, praying like asking for God's blessings for this nation to which we owe so much and that deserves the best of our appreciation, hoping that, as you said, we're so interconnected that we can't sabotage ourselves. Wherever we're living in this planet, we're one. So when we pray for the USA, we're praying for the world because from here, bridges of friendship. So let us march towards this prayerful moment. And I know you, as a beautiful professional singer and a singer of for spiritual healing and transformation, you volunteered and you came up with this inspiration to sing at our prayerful moment. So we're all yours.
Okay. Let me just bring up the hope the levels are correct. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, Son of God, love's pure light, radiant beams from thy holy face, with the dawn of redeeming grace. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth.
I'm speechless. I could feel it. And we thank you, Greg, for this prayerful moment.
Oops, I'm sorry. Turn you back up. I'm sorry, I missed that.
It's okay, but thank you. I'm speechless. We feel so inspired and so deeply connected to the heart of the Christ as Jesus Christ coordinates the efforts of the evolution of the planet. And let us just renew our hope. And as Emmanuel said, keep reaching out or be of greater assistance, whomever we are. Thank you, Silvio Tero, for being with us. And thank you, friends. Greg, thank you for your patience, for being here with us, and for bringing the healing music and the comments that just add to the dream of a balanced brain for a balanced planet.
Yes, yes. We are very happy here.
Thank
And
you.
may Jesus bless you deeply.
Thank you. You too. Thank you. So stay there, Greg. And
Okay.
friends, we thank you too. This is prayer for the USA. It's a moment just to call us, to stop for a moment, listen to the voice of the angels, the spirits, join forces with them, and reach out. No complaining, no pointing fingers, no desperation. After all, the good spirits with Jesus know that this brain is the brain. We need it. Let it be harmonized. Until next Friday, in one more Prayers for the USA. A big hug to you, friends. And until next week.